What's up, guys? Welcome to this video here on Elvis is the Man. And I titled this video, Elvis Feels on Top of the World. Elvis was awarded with so much gold on March 1970, and I want to try to capture the essence of what Elvis was going through and feeling at this time period of just such extreme success and validation coming off the attendance breaking highly successful comeback in Vegas in 1969. His second season there in Vegas was successful. Then he goes right on the road here in Houston for his first live show since 1961. I'm not really including the 69 performances because this was like the first time he played to tens of thousands of people. So he was really just riding high. This was his last show. And Elvis decided to have a final press conference there in Houston. So right after Elvis got done with his second Vegas season, he took a flight and went right down to Houston and played 6 attendance-breaking shows down there. And Elvis dealt with a lot of nerves and insecurity, but he totally pulled it off, and it turned into just a huge success and a confidence booster for Elvis. So at this press conference, he was awarded 5 gold records for his Memphis sessions, which he did just less than a year ago. And it's so crazy how Elvis totally turned his career around, which came about because he actually followed his own instincts. But that's another topic. So with these 5 gold records, this is the success that he wanted. He was in the studio in January and February, and this is the type of success Elvis was hoping to have. And it really showed that he could have this type of success if he was able to record and have actually access to the recordings and songs that he was wasn't able to get to for most of the 60s. So Elvis was really off the charts, as far as not placing very high in the mid to late 60s, with the exception of these records here. Now, I just want to have you guys realize how fast these records and songs, these singles, went gold. Okay, so Elvis had a recording session, the famous Memphis sessions, in January and February of the previous year. In April, In the Ghetto was released as a single. So we're talking about Elvis was awarded these records in March 1970. So it took 11 months and he was awarded the gold record for In the Ghetto. It went number 3 on the charts. And not that it took 11 months for it to go gold, not that they all went gold in the same month. But In the Ghetto was only released 11 months prior. Suspicious Minds, that was released right after Elvis's Vegas season, and that took 7 months before he was presented with a gold record, and that was a number 1 smash for Elvis, his first one since Good Luck Charm in 1962. And also the single Don't Cry Daddy, and that was a quick one because that was released in November that year, and it was number 6 on the charts at his highest placing. So that was only 4 months from the time it was released. And these are such good songs. And for some of you listening who are actually living in this time period and were actually able to see Elvis coming back on the charts and dominating the charts with these hit songs from April on to the end of November, December 1969. So he was dominating the charts, really, because he had 3 top 10 songs. And I'm not talking number 8 or number 9 or number 10. He had 2 of them that were top 5 and 1 that was number 6. So he was really on the upper side of that chart. For those of you who are actually there and experienced what it was like having Elvis come back on the charts and actually hearing him on the radio with new hit songs, comment down below. I'd like to hear your experiences. And he also got gold for his 2 LPs, which were From Elvis in Memphis and From Memphis to Vegas, From Vegas to Memphis. And like I said, this showed that if Elvis got access to the right songs and was around the right people who encouraged him and actually nurtured his gifts and not just there to make a quick buck off him, Elvis was able to be on the top of the charts again. And Elvis actually at the Memphis sessions was telling Chips Moman, like, I at least just want to try to get one more #1 record again, or #1 song again. And he definitely did. And this shows that Elvis was still the man. He just wasn't getting the right material. Also on this date, he was awarded some gifts, for the successful Houston shows. Okay, so one of which was the Stetson hat, which you can see here. He was in Houston, Texas. Elvis also got a Rolex, that nice gold watch, King Midas watch. He also got, and Elvis really loved this, probably maybe more than all of them, a gold deputy's badge. Now, a funny thing is, Colonel didn't get one, but for some reason or another, Colonel wanted a gold deputy's badge, and he demanded one from the sheriff. And, he was nice enough to give it to him, the sheriff was. But I just want to reiterate, after the years of making bad movies, I know we all have our favorites, but to Elvis, he was not into making those type of movies. He wanted to be taken seriously as an actor and have good scripts. After years of getting bad scripts, can't get songs that are really outside of the soundtracks. He did do some religious albums, and in '67 he was able to start, recording stuff like Guitar Man and that type of thing. But Elvis couldn't get the songs that he wanted because of the publishing issue that Colonel had set up, to where they would take 50% of the publishing. And by that time in the '60s, about 10 years after this deal was set up, having the rights to your own songs and your own publishing was the thing. Like, we all know that Elvis couldn't do Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You. And that may not have been a big hit for Elvis, like it was for Whitney Houston. But it's just the fact that Elvis couldn't do what he wanted to do. And, for a number of reasons, maybe he didn't push hard enough. But in these sessions, actually, Elvis bucked the Colonel and actually got to record in Memphis. Some of you know the story that the Colonel didn't want Elvis to record Suspicious Minds because he wasn't getting the publishing and that whole deal. And Elvis really, bucked the Colonel with the '68 special. It was not a Christmas special. It turned into a comeback special with the songs that he wanted in there. He was back in Vegas doing record-breaking shows, showing himself and proving to himself that he is the king and he is on top again. Goes to Houston, has these record-breaking attended shows where he just totally obliterated the doubt that he had in himself. And to top it all off, he was just awarded with 5 gold records, really cementing his comeback. So Elvis had to be feeling great and riding high. So I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of Elvis history. If you have, hit the like button. It helps to grow and expand the channel. Subscribe if you've been listening but haven't quite subscribed yet. We all do that. I even do that myself. And also in the description of this video, there's a link to my Patreon, Bible page, and fitness page. Hope to see you all there. We'll talk to you next time.